There we go. That cleaned everything up. All right, so like I said, I'm going to be reading comments from you folks at home and elsewhere. Stuff on the channel as to like, hey, how am I doing? Am I doing good? Can I do better at these things? What do you want to see more of or less of? And let's start with the most previous week, which is this one right here. All right, Marona Pup says, feedback. Whether you say things I agree or disagree with, you do so with good vibes, so it all makes me happy. Good job. All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Jonathan Allman says, I'd like your sass and bobs. It makes the show fun. It would be great if you can separate the weekly segments with some kind of animation on the screen so I can jump in where I would like. I'm not interested in classic news, but I'm keen on the rest. Doing a great job. Let me reread that. So if I could separate the weekly segments with some sort of animation on the screen so I can jump where I would like. You mean so it's like a transition or something like that? So kind of like the whole Batman, you know, that sort of thing, and then it kind of shifts over to the next thing. Or how about this? Let's say I produce some sort of like, all right, guys, it's time for, and then I have this animation, you know, the what of the week, or you know, something like that. You know, maybe I can put something like that together. Although I've been thinking about trying to do that stuff. I just need to learn how to do it. Or pay someone to do it, which I won't. So I need to like learn how to do that sort of stuff. So there's that. Butterworthy says standards. I'll believe it when I see it. That's cool. Let me see. Let me make sure that I'm looking at you know, actual feedback and not just random comments. Matt Olson, that's a regular. Dude, you have improved so much over your time here. Keep it up. Not all the time, but when Bob opened the show with a song or a rap session about the game was great. The banter and jokes between you and Bob are an essential part of the show. MO. I also like when you make videos of what you would do in game. As always, the information and facts about the game are spot on. I think when I was glancing through the comments, I think that was kind of a trend. One is like, for people who love Bob, they love Bob. For people who hate Bob, they hate him. The game design fan fiction, I think, is something that a lot of people like too. So let's keep going. Super J-Man, another regular, says, your unbiased presentation is fantastic. I really appreciate when you point out both sides of the arguments and you keep the negativity to a minimum. That is probably the number one reason I'm subscribed, ring the bell, and tune in whenever I am to the show. For example, I was happy when you did your things I like and things I don't like about Shadowlands videos. Read more. Whoa! Okay, Bob is good for the show as you can use him as the scapegoat when needed. He can say the dark and negative comments, or even the cheesy jokes, allowing you to be the sane one, bringing everything back to a level-headed viewpoint. It reminds me of Jeff Dunham with Peanut because, like Jeff, you are keeping Bob in line. Your pace is great. I also watch Bellular and Taliesin Nevitel, and I appreciate not having to slow the video down to hear what you say. Keep it... I read this as, keep it smooth and slutty. No, but it's more like keep it smooth and sultry, which is like the same thing. And he ends that with a lull. The visual you use in-game footage is cool and could be used a little more. A green screen wouldn't hurt for keeping your private life private. I'm thinking of, I'm definitely thinking of how to, well, I'll comment on this a little bit. The number of videos you have been putting out lately is amazing, and I'm always checking daily for the next breezy bit of content. More videos about lore wouldn't hurt. I like your take on a lot of it. The hair. Probably takes you a bit of time to get it to look like you just rolled out of bed, and it has become your iconic look, so I'm keep on keeping. Oh, this is terrible. Comments about the hair while I'm shooting the video on this, and my hair was not done. Fudge. Okay, that's great. So the plan at some point is to get like a corner table or something back here, and then I'll put a bunch of swag up there. Because I have a lot of stuff. I have collector's edition boxes that I haven't even taken out of the packaging boxes yet. They're still in Amazon boxes, so for all I know, there are bricks inside, which would be tragic. But there's like a bunch of stuff that I can put up there, or put up behind me. And even then, I'll still have just enough room to to still deploy my green screen if I wanted to, which I rarely do these days. But I want to improve the stage. That's something I'm going to be working on for sure. Smooth and sultry. You know, Ben Campbell says, I really like the fanfiction game design videos. Some more of those on different aspects of the game that you would change, add, or remove would be pretty cool. Chess Enta says, Bob is popular for a reason, smiley face. I like your general style and outlook. I've often wondered, out of all the content you have released, what did or didn't you enjoy, and the reasons why, if known. The Warcraft Weekly, the lore episodes, and the design theory crafting are my favorites. After Bob, of course. Freaking Bob. I want to hype it up and say, oh man, next year's gonna be huge. It's gonna be crazy, but I have no idea what's going on. I have ambitions and all that stuff, but we'll just kind of see how that goes. But as for let's see, what I did and didn't enjoy, things I didn't enjoy. I don't know if I did this last year or the year before. I don't remember anymore. There was one where I did like a pure reaction to other YouTube channels' videos, and I drank during the time. I didn't like that very much at all. I really enjoyed doing the holiday video, but it totally bombed last year, and because of that, I am really hesitant about doing another one because I put in like I almost ruined Christmas in order to get that thing out. And it like, yeah, it stunk, you know, hardly anyone gave it attention because it's just a bad time to put out videos anyway. So for me to have put out something like that, that was a really big disappointment. But it's not because it's not that I didn't like doing it, I just didn't like how it turned out, which is really unfortunate. So I'll consider that weird sound absorbing thing to be somewhat more Warcraft-ish, like more nice art, your elf fits nicely up there, and that turquoise wall pulling attention from you. Man, it was really bad when the other week I wore that shirt. I almost don't even want to wear that shirt anymore just because of that. Like, I like the color. I didn't like it on. This was not my idea. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop there. I'm not gonna dwell on this. Bill McVeigh says, I have 3 YouTubers I watch, and you I love because you are, in my humble opinion, very down to earth and easygoing. Very much a player along my lines, and I love Bob. The interactions between you and he are hilarious and make me lull every so very often. Thank you so much for all you do. If I ever get to a BlizzCon and make the meet and greet, you are so on my list. Reno McDowell says, give Bob a sexy female voice so I don't feel guilty about fantasizing about his hard drive. Well, how do I make Bob sound like a female? I did have like some other alter ego robot personality called Biffa. It went like, hi, my name's Biffa, and like, and it sounds like Bob. It pretty much sounds like with a higher pitch. Tyler Roberts says, don't kill Bob. Well, just because I throw him into a pit of fire or something doesn't mean he's gonna die. Shucks. Alright, Don Pierce says, I've liked it all. Been watching you for 2 or 3 years now, and I've enjoyed it all. I don't know what else is needed, but I do have a hard time making it to your morning streams. But otherwise, nope, don't change, and please don't kill Bob. Lol, smiley face. Isaac Kramer says, the current format is fine. Hooded Cape says, being really honest here about your YouTube channel, for me, I find it amazing. It is fun, it's relaxing, it's not over hyper ventilated like other channels, no names. I like your speculation trips and lore presentation to the community. I enjoy Bob and his personality. In general, as a teacher myself, I feel that you have some sort of pedagogy. Malfunction. You do have some sort of thing around WoW in the community that I encourage you to continue being yourself. About your Twitch channel, yeah, I never catch your stream, so sorry about that, but keep being you. Peter says, honestly, bro, you're doing just fine. Could get a haircut more often. Motherfucker, is he on? Is he on stream right now? Bitch. He's not. Screw you, Peter. Let me rewind that. Peter says, honestly, bro, you're doing just fine. Could get a haircut more often, but hey, as far as your feedback goes, more Bob. Add more songs. The BlizzCon one kept me going till well after the con. You get a knack for it. Other than that, don't change a thing. There's a reason we follow you and keep being subscribed for well over a year now. I love the humor and the way you look at things. Steady as she goes, and you will build up the brand in no time. The songs. You know, the songs are a tough one because almost every time I do a song, I'll get demonetized. So it sucks. I have to be really careful about the songs that I choose and the way that I present them and all that stuff, because it's easy for me to get hit by that stuff. And then it means all the work that I put into the rest of the video pretty much goes down the drain, except for, of course, getting feedback, likes, exposure, and all that stuff. It just, you know, it doesn't generate anything for me, and that makes it like really upsetting. Dragon Girl says, no, don't kill Bob. Personally, I'm very fine with everything the way you have it. I just notifications from Twitch worked better. I usually get notified 20 minutes after to an hour after the stream goes live, so unless I know a streamer's set schedule and they stick to it, I tend to miss a great amount of content from people. That's not your fault though. I do enjoy the interaction that you have with your viewers. I feel it makes people feel more part of the action, so to speak. Granted, I have very different views from you when it comes to your How to Make X WoW Better series, but that's just me. I'm usually quite opinionated when it comes to things like that. I've just learned to keep those opinions to myself or argue my points with those I'm closest to, as my MS tends to make expressing myself and having it understood not the easiest thing in the world. Words get stuck in my brain, and try as I might, I either can't find them or explain exactly what I mean. If there would be one thing I would suggest, maybe once or twice a month video where I take questions from the viewers and answer them. Kind of like an AMA, but maybe like a theme for them. Kind of like this contest thing that you have going. Throw some Bob responsive in there to a question like, I don't know, say you get up to get a drink and Bob starts reading the questions and answering them for you, but then doesn't tell you which ones he's answered. There's so many different ways it could be done. Just get creative with it. Love you, Soul and Bob. Keep up the great work. I do want to do Q&A stuff. One thing that I admire Lore for, even though he gets shit for it these days, I miss his weekly Marmot series where he would just take questions from people and then spend time answering them. Even though, like, at the time, like, he wasn't like a super WoW expert, or you know, he wasn't working for Blizzard. He was a raider, but you know, his comprehension was only so high, but he did his best to answer questions, and I found that really engaging. I found that fun. It was a great way to communicate with his viewers and all that stuff, and build his fan base and stuff. So I'd love to do that. I really would like to do that. I'm a little bit scared because it's like, oh yeah, let me get your questions, guys, and stuff, and I'll figure something out. It might be a simple format like, hey, let me take your questions, and then each week, once every 2 weeks, like Dragon Girl's saying, I'll take the time to answer all the questions, and at the end of that show, I will do a giveaway. So it will basically be like every 2 weeks, I'll do a giveaway for some gold or for some game time, and that might be neat. Kraken Latte, what? That's a name. Duh, that's a name. Kraken Latte. I absolutely love your channel. You're my new favorite WoW YouTuber as of this year, even over larger channels. You stay pretty unbiased, and when you do give opinions, you give them in a sensical, unhateful manner. So many tubers lately have boarded the hate train and makes it hard to get behind them. Please don't get rid of Bob. He's great. Fuck Bob. I'm just kidding. As for changes, perhaps just see about covering a greater variety of WoW content. You mostly cover news, which is totally fine. Perhaps do a mini-series about what I do in WoW, your favorite stuff to do. I heard you raid and have a guild. Anything to talk about there? Any guides about parts of WoW that you think you do better than others? I'm my collector. You're my favorite WoW YouTuber, and I feel like I know so little about you. I do have other series out there. Maybe like some of the maybe for one thing, I should every now and then advertise, hey, there are other things I talk about apart from the news. I also do this and this and this. I do plan on another episode of Prisoner of Warcraft by the end of this year. I still need to talk about, I think, the second half of Burning Crusade. And in that series, I get pretty personal. I kind of intermingle my personal and my, gaming life, and how that's molded me into the kind of player and person that I am today. Matt Brown says, I enjoy the self-deprecating style of wit and sarcasm. It's refreshing. The only real suggestion for improvement is to get a green screen and use Blizzard artwork as the background. Otherwise, be well and happy. Spaceboy says, I would like to see some more streaming on Twitch or even here on YouTube, but more in the afternoon rather than early morning. Getting to interact with streamers and YouTubers is actually pretty fun. It's one of the things I enjoy most about both Hazel and Taliesin. I know your streaming audience is modest right now. There we go. But it seems worth building up. But that's funny. Like, isn't Taliesin streaming like right now? So I guess what he's saying is, like, I'll watch Taliesin in the morning, and I'll watch you in the afternoon if you get on in the afternoon. I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to stream. Period. Every minute I stream is time that is taken away from making videos, which is still like definitely the bread and butter of what I do. As for streaming on YouTube, I still kind of like look back on that with a little bit of fondness and sadness. I'm like, oh, I probably would have a bigger audience if I were streaming just on YouTube again. But I just kind of enjoy being on Twitch right now. So Taliesin streams longer. Good for him. Yeah, for me though, like, I think I keep myself too busy with like video content and all that stuff. If the stream did like grow more, then cool. Or it might just be, I might just be on a bad time slot. That really might be it. But that's something to maybe think about. Maybe I could stream like 4 hours later than normal. Maybe I'll try, maybe I'll experiment with it next year. For now, like, I'll keep going with this because we're approaching the end of the year. But maybe I'll experiment. I'll probably still stick to Twitch, but I'll see how things go with trying afternoon streams instead to see how that feels. I mean, it'll definitely give me a lot more flexibility in the morning to like do other things and all that too. So we'll see. Mahmoud Nabil says, introduce Bob to the Curse of Flesh. But seriously though, ew. I really enjoy your videos. Keep up the good work. I think Curse of Flesh and I just think of Bob melting. He's like, no, it's going away. And then under him is like an actual fleshy Bob. That sounds weird, but oh well, whatever. Jen G says, one thing to cover less, your torso. Hashtag no homo. Damn. But really, you're awesome. Serious like Bell you are, but not on ecstasy. Fun like Taliesin, but not as British. Stay like that. Stay. What? I haven't watched the Belliard video in a while, but does he drop or something like that? Fun like Taliesin, but not as British. So damn, that's some racist stuff going on, man. I do plan on. So actually, the pacing might change next year when I get a teleprompter. Well, it's probably, wait, what's it at? $5? It's probably gonna be a while till I get a teleprompter. but I do plan on that, and that is going to make it is going to make the streams, not the streams, it is going to make the videos feel probably a little bit faster, but I don't think it'll be by much. I still want to, because part of the way I talk comes from, part of it is me looking at screens and then looking back at the camera. The other part is like this kind of bone growth. This is gross, so TMI, whatever, too bad. It came to this. There's a bone growth under my tongue called Tori or something. I forgot the name of it, but it makes it so that it takes a considerably greater effort for me to talk without me choking on my tongue. I don't know how to describe it, but it's harder for me to talk super fast. So yeah, I mean, I can kind of do it, but yeah, not really. Lori, who was a long-time watcher, she says, I love Bob. You can't get rid of Bob. If anything should happen to Bob, he should become a constellation to be admired for his great deeds. Loved by all. So lucky Sarah. Like, if he gets killed, he'll just rise into the sky, and then you see his big, stupid face somewhere in the stars. Woo! Alright. Let's see. SV Talks Wow says, just keep being yourself. You're amazing. Been there since the start when you had 1,000 subs. Saw your post on MMO Champ. Do not ever change. Don't tell me what to do. God. Robert Flan. Oh, Flan. He says, show's great. It is unbiased. If I was to make a suggestion, perhaps a green screen for your background. I'm getting more of that. Soultastic. Bold. Soultastic. He says, I like how chill you are when talking about stuff. Some people get really passionate or snarky, and you seem to be a bit more laid back and calm and collected, which helps enjoy your content. When you get mad, you get understandably mad at something, but you don't turn completely childish about it. You leave that to Bob. Haha, secrets out. As for your content, sometimes I wish you would do some more of those things people overlook in WoW videos, but there's enough of that on YouTube, maybe you don't have to. So maybe just a throwaway suggestion here, but there's that. Maybe mini guides explaining new systems, like how the Mentos work, and how you power things up and where you need to go. For now, doing news works. As for the bottom wall color, maybe not so outlandish of a color, like a tan or a tone of gray that isn't too iffy looking. As for Bob, he needs a twin. Evil Bob. Regardless of my bad humor here, I think you do fine job as is, but maybe you could experiment with other segments and see how they go. You have a good enough composure on things. I do more than news, so I'm going to presume that he still watches like most of the other content that I do. But yeah, I do mini guides. I talk about systems and all that stuff, and I do plan on talking about 8.3 content next month. I'm just waiting for a couple more PTR bills to see when things are better. Gin says, I love the Bob bits. A little humor goes a long way. As for suggestions, your soundproofing mats should not have any gaps, need to fix. The paint scheme doesn't work. You need pastels, soft blues and greens are relaxing. More seeable artwork for the walls. You should be drinking your coffee from your own merch mugs to increase possible sales. Your hair, let's not go there. Hey, you know what? If this mug was bigger, I would drink more from the mug, but I could only fit, I can't even fit like as much coffee as I would like in here. But I have water in the cup when I have water. I do not have water presently. Instead, motherfucker, I have to get some Starbucks. Why do I have a green cup? Whatever, man. I didn't even finish reading the comments. Your content is fine. Love the outro. Mixing up the intros are a good thing. Lastly, I give this feedback because you asked so nicely for it. I am not doing it for any possible prize, as I would decline that to honor. Keep doing what you're doing and have a nice day. Montana Ricky says, just started to watch your channel and I'll be the one to get yelled at. Can you cover battle pets? New ones that come out? The happenings in it? Just something to show love to us, people that collect them and play them. I level by just doing pet battles, so basically all I care about that and gold, thanks, clap. I could do that. New pets that come in and all that stuff. I mean, it'd be easy enough to be like, hey guys, here's the new pets that are coming in, and then I'll just run through the list, churn that stuff out. There's not much of an opinion. Unfortunately, if I were to even attempt to give an opinion on it, I would be dismantled and, drawn out and shot. Because I don't know jack about battle pets. I'll just be like, hey, check it out. So pretty. Oh my god, it's so cute. It'll be more like a reaction video than anything. So Richard Young says, don't change how your vids are done at all, please. The formula is perfect. You're entertaining and not a huge downer on things even when they suck. Keep the show the same. Maybe do a vid that's all Bob, like a WoW Christmas special hosted by him. Lol. I have great anxiety when I feel, when I'm being asked, hey, just do a full thing of Bob. Because it's like right now I'm gonna I'm having it good right now. I'm like gaining subs and all that stuff, and I feel like Bob would just, you know, having a full Bob show would just bring it down. Maybe I'll do it for like the patrons and stuff, because at least I can be confident, really confident with that audience. But as for like the gen pop, I'm talking about it like it's a prison, like the general population of folks. I don't know if they can handle that. I don't know if I can handle that, actually. Evelo says, I'm one of those people where I think if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like your content as is, and I see no need for a change. Yay! Timitar Petrov says, killing Bob will bring an angry lynch mob to your door. I'll be one of those people. Hashtag stand up for Bob. Seriously though, I do enjoy the content, the current format with the cheats and jokes. Seriously again, don't you touch Bob. Keep up the good work. Winky face. I think that's a sarcastic winky face, man. Farthest Away says, dude, what the fuck? I've watched a few of your videos, but now just realized how likable you are and how consistent your content is. Nice job. Finger bang. Yeah. Crawl says, I can't stand the little Mechanome character. The jokes are terrible. The voice makes me feel like I need to clear my sinuses. Please stop making horrible jokes. Your personality seems cool. You're laid back, and I'm about it. Your hair looks nice. Everything else seems pretty legit. That's kind of the point. I don't do good jokes. I don't know what it is to be like. I don't know humor very well. I don't talk memes really. I struggle with memes and like pop culture-y sort of stuff. So yeah, my jokes are bad not because I'm trying to make them bad. It's cause they are. Stephen Marriott says, hey bro, Steve here from Australia. Really like your content. I always chuck a like as soon as it starts so I don't forget later. Feedback wise, nothing negative and therefore probably nothing constructive lol. I enjoy the longer videos you do. Definitely don't stop that. Bob is trademarked at this point. Don't stop that. Love the frequency of your vids. Maybe like Belluar, keep yourself there, but cut more often to relative content. But in saying that, you do a good job editing too. Maybe give us non-Americans a shout out sometimes. Tongue face. Now you're doing great, man. I'm sure your channel will grow bigger. Cheers, Mati. Thanks. Alexander Stepanov says, oh, is this US only? Sad, but will still provide feedback. So my favorite type of videos that you make are definitely the idea, brainstorming / improve the game videos. The ones where you propose ways to improve, to change or improve WoW, and especially if there are visuals. I love seeing the visuals. I would love more of those. Another reason I'm subscribed to you is that you bring positiveness into the WoW community by being chill and constructive regarding things you dislike about the game, instead of just tearing Blizz apart with angry criticism, and point out the things that you like about the game. I'm slowly getting estranged from Belluar, for example, because he's gotten so cynical about it. It helps no one. What I don't like in your videos, your lore speculations are a bit cringy sometimes, like the Sylvanas with the ICC toilet flush. I'll hold off on that. And Bob is a bit cringy sometimes. I cannot unrealize that it is just you talking to yourself. But there are people in this channel who seem to love the aspect of your videos, so shrug. I actually do like the dad puns though. Your current hairstyle is much better than the one 3 years ago, by the way. What? I ended up watching your first video out of curiosity and you looked so sad and desperate, no offense, and now you look so much more confident and full of energy. It's a huge change. I don't know how well you're faring with the number of subscribers you've gained over the 3 years, but no matter how it turns out in the end, I think bringing this channel to this point has had a huge positive impact on you as a person. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good and creative work, mate. Hold up. My hair? 3 years? Motherfucker. Hold up. Okay. I look dumb. That's a bad part to pause at, okay? So you know what the difference between then and now is, all right? One, it's not the hair. This hair is like the same. Like it is just undone, all right? You know, headphones off and you know, yeah, it's the same hair. The difference is that I have this to distract you, this sexiness right here, and I'm at a different angle. The camera down there is pointing up, and I'm looking down, so that's why you see like the little neck rolls and all that stuff. And of course, it looks like I'm in an abandoned warehouse. Whereas now, I put crap over the things that make it look like an abandoned warehouse. So, that's the difference. What was the other part? The Sylvanas ICC toilet flush. I was almost right. You gotta give me that one. It's just that the toilet flushes up. You feel me? It's the same damn thing. She still went to the Shadowlands just because yeah. You guys are hilarious. You guys are absolutely hilarious. Cleam729 says, please don't kill Bob. I like Bob. He makes the show more funny. Cool. Andre Frony says, congrats man, your videos are getting better and better. Your lighthearted way of presenting somewhat bad news, clearly bad being a matter of perspective, is the best MO compared to other channels with the same focus as yours. Really nice job in making the text and presenting the news while keeping it light and easy to follow without them... read more? Becoming a burden on the viewer's shoulders without trying to change the mood of the viewer or skew their perspective to match yours. It's really sad that other content creators aspire to be influencers of people's opinions. The only thing they manage to accomplish is just to annoy me, to be honest, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. People should be formed correctly without being manipulated into a crowd that has the same goal as the influencer or the same opinion. They should be free to choose and make up their own thoughts. Yay, yay. At some point, many moons from now, when I finally, when my Prisoner of Warcraft series gets all the way to like Warlords of Draenor, when I started making YouTube videos, like part of the inspiration was me looking at some of the content out there that was just openly bashing WoW and Blizzard, calling the devs idiots and trash talking them and stuff, and I'm like, dude, calm your ass down. And this is when I was like full on working as a lead at Sony, and I'm seeing like dozens and dozens of games come across my desk, and I'm understanding the way that the systems work and all that stuff. It developed for me a lot of empathy for the developer side of gaming. So something as big as WoW, I would see how the development process is going. And it's not like Blizzard doesn't make mistakes. Of course they make plenty of mistakes and screw things up and do things that dissatisfy their customers, but like the trash talking and the conclusions that people draw upon that, I'm like, man, we can do better than that. And so that's why I wanted to add to the community the sort of feedback that is not as shitty. I want more, let's see, Antoine Wallace says, I want more content. I love the rants and the meandering stuff. I want less time between Brutosaur songs. The Void says, I want more Revis and Bobhead. Can't think of anything I'd like to see less of because I feel like you do a great job with your videos. I love the songs and the skits, and you have a great attitude about things. Revis and Butthead. Revis and Bobhead, sorry. God, I'm sorry, Bobhead. I think after I did it 2 weeks in a row, I did that skit two weeks in a row. I'm like, okay, I'll take a break on this one. I'll hold off on it for a little while. So it's on the shelf. You know, there are things that I can pull back in and then do more skits on it. Yeah, and the website with the text to voice thing, there's like a billion of them, so I always have access to that sort of stuff. Morona Pup says, I want more you being comfortable to express your thoughts and feelings on any sort of topic here. I want less, perhaps ironic to say after what I just said, and also probably uncalled for, less things about having to be an optimal performer. Using your own words, though perhaps I misunderstood. I wouldn't think I'm choosing to be lazy or suboptimal by choosing what I think is fun. Also, my family is a small family guild. We have busy lives, we love WoW when we're able to play, and it sucks that we'll never get the coolest stuff because we don't or can't do mythic raiding. There's 4 of us on at the same time if we're lucky, and not all busy and all in the mood. I mean, I get it, mythic raiding guilds work hard so they should be rewarded, but we work hard too. Then we play WoW where we shouldn't have to work hard, and we shouldn't feel like we're missing out on content or fun just because we don't have the manpower and, after a long day of work, don't want to make our hobby into more work. Sorry, I'm rambling, and that situation is not your fault, and I verily enjoy and typically agree with your videos, but it bums me out when I hear things about WoW, about how others are doing our hobby, which we also pay for, better than we are, and therefore should get better rewards. I'm not sure if I was like overt in saying that you know, mythic players should always get like the best, should get the best things. But I guess I'm of different mindsets here. Mythic content, or like the hardest content in the game, especially when it comes to PvE, it's still gonna be there. You know, it's still going to be there after we move on, like, to the next thing. Like, for example, I don't do mythic stuff. I don't know if Morona knows that very clearly, but I don't do mythic content at all. I don't do mythic plus. I haven't done a mythic plus since season 2. The only mythic content that I've done, I think all expansion, was the first boss of Boda. The champion of the light, or whatever that is, and that's about it. Otherwise, the team just doesn't have that same kind of drive, or really the same kind of throughput that we need in order to do it. So we just don't, unfortunately. Brian Gardner says, I want more Bob and speculative game systems. I want less nothing. The show is great. Love your channel. Thanks. Naveed Tahir says, need more Blue Post updates / opinion pieces. Less marathon vids. Generally, 10 minutes are easier to watch, though I appreciate the index in the description. So there's kind of a careful balance. Like, most of the weeklies that I do could easily be longer if I were to just let myself run my mouth. And it's fun, and it's interesting. I think this year, early this year, or actually maybe the whole year, I started scripting the entire weekly, the whole thing. So, except for like certain parts where all ad-lib stuff, but for the most part I scripted out. So it made the pre-production a lot longer, but it made the actual production much shorter. And the way I deliver has been a lot better. Overall, I have no regrets on the scripted stuff, because it also made my weeklies shorter. But at the same time, there would be so much to talk about, and these days there's a lot to talk about with WoW. I mean, between the news and some of the company related stuff and classic WoW, there's a lot to add, and things have been adding to the plate. Now that we're getting into like patch season as well as an expansion, there's just a lot there to talk about there too. Pandora Box says, I want more about game update news and controversial changes. After I watch it, you make me think about it and not make me change my mind just because I like your vids. I want less WoW classic news. Oh, that's funny. I was just talking about that. Ha ha, ha ha. Less WoW classic news. I think that comes naturally. It's just there's just not much to talk about with classic WoW otherwise, except for, hey, it's coming. Hey, it's getting close. Hey, it's here. Hey, here's the phase, and all that stuff. And then, of course, there was like the general reaction to kind of set the mood. And more than anything, my early coverage of classic WoW was mostly to talk about, dude, Warcraft is just fucking doing great this year. There's all this stuff going on. We got this. We had a good patch with 8.2 coming in. We have classic WoW. There's so much to celebrate. Tons of people are playing. It's great, so that feels like a big thumbs up to me. But as for the actual WoW classic news, there's just less to talk about, so it's happening on its own. What did I say last week? I talked about how, hey, the phases are kind of being broken up. It feels like phases don't matter as much, and now we're going to have battlegrounds coming. So I'll probably make some observations. Hey, here's maybe how some streamers are feeling about it, or some other people are feeling about it. What are the forums saying, and that sort of thing. But yeah, if there's news that I'm interested in, then I'll talk about it. Troy Big Pond says, the song is damn funny. You should make a whole video of it like Oxhorn. I want more of your apparent premonitions for gameplay and what to expect. I want less not seeing it. You got your thing that's working for you. I really appreciate your show. Thanks. By the end of all this feedback, and after soaking all this stuff in, and I'll be reading this stuff privately again later, it's going to help me kind of re-identify like what I've become over the past year with regards to the content that I put together, and just kind of how I present myself to the community. It's like, hey, Soul is that one guy that does yada yada yada, and we're getting pretty close to identifying that, which is cool. that's something that I wanted to discover for myself in this past year. Jonathan Side says, I want more of you doing what you're doing here. Just keep having fun and talking about what speaks to you. I want less, however, of taking pot shots at other YouTubers. Just do your thing and don't worry about them. I mean, I say stuff in streams every now and then, but what are the worst? Like, I'll joke about them. But what's the actual worst things that I've said? I don't buy into Pyro's theories sometimes. Something about Mark Kern, but he just does Twitter. There was the drama between Taliesin and Asmongold. I guess there's that. Well, he said, I want less. So, sure, yeah, you'll get less. Done. Alexander LeVay says, I want more Bob, and I want Soul to explain about player housing one more time. Oh, that's a promise. Oh, I will. God dang it, Blue Bomber. I want the ultimate merging of Bob and Soul. Soulb. Or Bowl. Something. The gods will see it is done. Sort of like a mechanome human Borg mixture. Morris So, god damn it. David Mattson says, I want a full-length Budosaur country music video with Bob singing backup. Oh boy. Ellen Garrett says, Can you narrow? I want more Bob songs. I still think fondly of the Thank You Metzen song. Yes! This should win it just for that. But it's gonna be random, I'm sorry. Someone brought it up. Yeah. She says, I want less US only contests. I want a chance to actually win over here in the EU. That means I gotta make an EU account and successfully post there. True Mokel says, more musical parodies. Bob Rap, the song he did for this episode, those are fantastic. More, please. Less reactions to hypes. There are plenty of other YouTubers that pump that shit out. I come to yours to relax and get a level-headed perspective on things you're good at. At what? I'm good at what? Oh, I'm good at that. Okay. There are definitely things I feel strongly about. That I feel like, okay, something's dropping. This is like a big thing for me. For example, when the community and guild finder tool dropped, that's something I've been talking about for years. So when that thing popped in, I was like, oh my god! I immediately hit the record button and just dove into the game. I was like, oh my god, so we got this going on, and this is awesome. You know, some bitch named Haruma Redek says, I want more Bob. I want less, not more Bob. Sure, okay. Eric Engel says, I want more Bob. I want less coverage of stupid outrage. Have I did anything that was stupid outrage? Or just outrage? That might be stupid. Oh god, was it I already forgot what it was. The thing about Mythic Plus and all that? I guess it might have been that, but Destin says, I want more songs from you. They're always creative and catchy. I want less drama coverage. All channels cover the drama in the game. I understand some things need to be shared, however, things like the Joker D ninja looting has been on every channel that covers WoW news. I just don't care about the drama. I play WoW to enjoy the game with friends, and there is always that one person who is a dick. You know, I'm thinking about making like the What of the Week instead of calling it the What of the Week. That kind of indicates that it's a weekly thing. Maybe I'll just do let's bring up a segment called What, and we're all just, you know, same thing. So that way I don't feel compelled to do something every single week if I feel like it doesn't fit, or if it's just not good. I mean, I could easily find something that makes me go what, but I think maybe I should be more selective on it and make it like a really good thing that would make me go, what? Alright. Fair10 says, I want more Bob. I want more funny stuff, like the song was great. I want more of your ideas for making WoW better. I want less. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't have much interest in the Mythic because I don't do it, but if there are new cosmetic things, I will watch. Redma Shadowbane says, I want more Bob. I want less Horde bias. You Horde cuck. Smiley face. Steakburger says, I want more Bob. Seriously. Edward Burke says, I want predictions. I want less impressions of other YouTubers. I think I can get behind that. At the same time, interacting with fellow YouTubers, it also breaks that sort of wall too. when you get these two personalities kind of not exactly like knocking heads or starting trouble, but just kind of sharing with each other. Evelo, I think this is another comment by them. Evelo says, I want your thoughts on different lore parts of the Warcraft universe, as in the story of the Draenei. I personally love it. I want less of something. I genuinely sat here for 5 minutes just thinking of what I didn't want and was unable to think of something. Aww. Thomas, that's another long-time viewer. Thomas says, I want more of your insights and opinions, not because I tend to agree, which is often, but because you do your research well and construct your words before mouthing about. I want less or fewer videos. Okay, this sounds insulting, but hear me out. Your quantity of videos doesn't bother me because you keep them on par with the quality, but I just like watching all the things Warcraft together. Purely personal taste, but it's fine either way. I mostly chose this for luck and other I want less options lol. Well, fine, I'm not gonna listen to it then. Zero says, I want the extended version of the Brutosaur song. I want more options, I want more add-on spotlights, I want less, I don't know. Sorry, Soul. I haven't looked at add-ons in like a good couple of months, so I think in lieu of patch 8.3, I'll try to look up stuff that I know is going to be updated or more than likely ready to go by the time that patch comes out. I want less gaps in the sound dampening on your walls. Yeah. I've thought about just like changing the angle. If I change the angle, then we're good. We're done. DPT says, I want more silly skits. Love the song. I want less political talk. Political talk. Overall, my coverage of that stuff doesn't, I mean, I want to add a certain level-headedness to the conversation, apart from, hey, let's bash Blizzard because that seems to be the right thing to do that gets the clicks, without really defending them. I don't know, like I have mixed feelings about this. I'd like being able to talk about those sorts of things because I think that there is more reasoned conversation that we can have without either insulting Blizzard or whoever, or insulting each other. I don't think it really needs to go that far. Duller again says, I want more songs, I want less of anything that I don't enjoy doing. That's a good tip. Me myself says, I want more videos. He also says, I want less focus on paladins or only using them as examples, though I get why you do it. I just don't like it. I do feel bad whenever I bring up examples and I just use the one class and spec that I know as the example. The problem is if I don't, or if I did talk about a different class, then I'd get called out. Because I'd be like, I'll get one of those comments that says, you clearly don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. Maybe I would get that anyway. But I would definitely get it if I were to talk about like a spec or whatnot that I don't know about. So that's why you don't really see me talking about, hey guys, here are the class changes coming in patch 8.3, and then I just read the patch notes. That's really all that would be. I would be speaking with the authority of, I am reading out loud to you, friends at home and on the toilet. But I'm not speaking with any expertise at all, and that doesn't feel right to me. See, Mosh says, I want more systems vids, both new suggestions and fixes. Honestly, don't want less of anything. Your vids have been on point for months now. Keep doing what you're doing. And damn, that song nearly had me spitting coffee all over my comm. Well done. Yay! Jedi Panda says, I want your mug and t-shirts. Send me one for Christmas, please. Maybe a giveaway, a Bob-hosted contest. Swotor fan says, I want more clever songs. Brutosaur song was epic. I want you to keep the toilet comments, maybe not so much political stuff. I've walked away from the news because it's so freaking toxic these days that you can't even get a good sense of what is going on. Alexander says, I want more videos where you bring us new ideas about the game, expanding on existing features, etc. And I want them with more depth, not just scratching the surface, but actually diving fully into a concept and going crazy with ideas. I want less news that aren't directly related to WoW. So this is a tough one. I mostly scratch the surface on certain ideas like this because it goes back to the whole premise of giving feedback. It's really easy to get people to agree with you when you say, you know what, this feature, it sucks. Fix it, Blizz. And even Brian Halinka says, hey, I love it when people say fix it. It's not specific, but at least people are expressing something. And from there, it's the developer's job to try to either figure it out or to continue asking for specific feedback to get some help with pointing out with what could be the pain points so they can actually address what's going on. When it comes to me giving this kind of feedback, though, like I said, it's really easy for me to be like, hey guys, this thing sucks, and people would be like, yeah, it really sucks. Like, I guess here's an example of me sort of trash talking. I think a month or so ago, Belluar put out a video where he talked about, hey, here's the things that Blizzard needs to fix about WoW. And it was very non-specific. It was basically like the greatest hits of complaints from the forums and Reddit and other such things, and that was it. With not even a hint of what could be done instead, which is smart because, and the reason is because, like I said, it's easy to get people to rally around being dissatisfied or angry about something or wanting Blizzard to change something. But the moment you get specific, the moment you start cooking up actual ideas that you might have that you think would be cool, that unity falls apart. It just goes to shit because you're easily going to split players in different directions by being like, well, I get what you're saying, Bellular or Soul or whatever, but your suggestion, it's garbage. This is what I would do instead, So for me to invest that much time into fan fiction, basically, it risks splitting the opinions even further apart and tuning out people even more. Now, it's all for fun. So that's why I keep things very much on the surface. So that way I don't get stuck on that idea. And I get stuck on ideas pretty easily. So the whole premise of these kinds of fan fiction types of videos is to get different kinds of ideas out there, to get people to also think for themselves and see, hey, what can we do with this? What can we run with? So I could, if I really wanted to, just make up a whole expansion with abilities and plot and features and all this other stuff. That's something that I can do, but ultimately it would be more of a drain on my time than anything. So, and I think that wraps up the comments. Oh snap! But yeah, there was one thing that I wanted to talk about, and I guess I forgot. Oh well. I guess it wasn't all that important. Sword do 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 Bruta sword do 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 Bruta sword do 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 Bruta sword Bruta sword do 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 Bruta sword do 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 Bruta sword